Hetty John. Representative Steve Smith. Representative Dave Wilson. Representative Harvey Kenton. Representative Ruth Briggs King. Representative Tim Dukes. And from the Milton Town Council, we have Councilwoman Stell Selby. My former principal and assistant principal at one point. So. We have Lewes Mayor Jim Ford with us tonight. From the Lewes City Council, Dennis Reardon. Also from Lewes City Council, Fred Buffet. From the Lewes Board of Public Works, Nancy Levinson. And from Rehoboth Beach, we have Mayor Sam Cooper. And from the Cape Henlopen School Board, Jen Burton. Thank you all very much. And since they did such a great job in 2012, I've asked our daughters, Anna and Claire, to once again lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Yay! Who, along with his wife, has become a very dear friend to us through this journey in public service. And I'd like to ask him to please come to the podium. Representative Harvey Kenton is going to share a few words of prayer and reflection with us this evening.
Thank you, Janice. Ernie, if I may, before I pray, allow me to say just a few words. Ernie, Janice, Anna, and Claire, you've touched not only my heart and my life, but the lives of so many others. Ernie, you have a smile as big as the sun. I look out there and there's Ernie's smile. When Ernie walks into a room, folks, that's just what happens. The room lights up. Ernie turns on that charm and that smile. And whenever he sees me, before he ever leaves, every time he'll say, Harvey, Janice and I love you. Ernie, it means so much. It means so much to me and Jean. Folks, this is a special person and a special family. 2 years ago, I stood right here introducing Ernie, and it seems like yesterday, Ernie. I don't know where the time's gone. But on the way here tonight, I was thinking how privileged we as Americans are to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And Ernie, I'd like to share something that we should none ever, ever take for granted. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. When I hear that, it just reminds me so much of Ernie and how fortunate we are to live in the country that we live in. Ernie and Janice, thank you for allowing me to share those beautiful words. Please bow in an attitude of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for Ernie and his beautiful family, and for the opportunity for friends and family to be able to celebrate Ernie's announcement for re-election. You have blessed Ernie as a man with integrity, character, intelligence, charm, and a man who above all lives by his faith. We ask for your continued blessings on Ernie, his family, and his friends. We ask this in thy blessed name. Amen.
All right. And next I would like to introduce the legend of Lewes, as I call him, a man with 22 years of combined service as a city councilman and the mayor of Lewes, and our great friend, Mayor Jim Ford. Mayor Ford, will you please come to the podium for some opening remarks and to introduce our 6th District State Senator and my husband, Ernie Lopez.
Thank you all, and thank you, Janice, for that wonderful introduction. I very much appreciate it. Harvey, Ken, thank you as well for those kind words and reflections that you provided us. It's my honor to be here today to welcome everyone to Stango Park and to the official opening of the campaign for the re-election of the Senator, Dr. Ernesto B. Ernie Lopez. Thank you, Ernie, for your past service, and let me also thank you in advance for your future service. We will all make that happen. We are fortunate to have Ernie interested in seeking another term of public service for the 6th Senatorial District. We all extend our warmest gratitude to his wonderful wife, Janice, and their 2 lovely daughters, Anna and Claire, for sharing Ernie with all of us and for their constant support of his endeavors to represent the people of the state of Delaware. My mayoral experiences with Senator Lopez are probably very similar to your personal experiences. His ubiquitous, gregarious personality is indicative of his work ethic, dedicated and committed to successfully improving the Lewes community and the state of Delaware. Ernie presents a concept of balance, working responsibly, thoughtfully, and progressively, placing the needs of our state and its people before partisan politics. I have had the privilege of a direct working relationship with Senator Lopez, seeing Lewes benefit from his support. His shared successes in Lewes are indicative of his overall philosophy and actions. From a first-hand experience, I see how Ernie recognizes the importance of state, county, and local governments working in harmony. He corresponds with the city of Lewes and is our voice and our vote in Dover, and he does it very, very well. He understands the critical factors of coastal economy, tourism, agriculture, small businesses, and its importance not only to our area, but the entire state. On the environment, Ernie balances land use decisions between development and open space preservation. He has been a steward for education. He represents ultimately 3 different generations, his parents, his own, and his children, and he sees the challenges and the values at all those levels. He has supported the Lewes Library, the Beebe School of Nursing, and education and lecture series that continue in the city of Lewes. Senator Lopez has been an advocate for public safety, a strong supporter of the police and fire departments and the EMS responders, and serving on the Route 1 task force. He is a quintessential, stalwart, marquee state senator that only needs one thing, and that is our support. So let's give him everything we have. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure, our state senator now and tomorrow, Ernie Lopez.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, girls. for the wonderful start, saluting our flag. Daddy is so proud of you. Thanks to my dear friend and my colleague, Representative Kenton, for his words of prayer, which meant so much. To my incredible wife, Janice, and my campaign committee and volunteers for pulling this wonderful, wonderful kickoff together. And to all of you, Mom and Dad, family, friends, neighbors, and my fellow elected officials. I look around this crowd and see so many people who care about Delaware, the place we call home, and you humble me with your presence here today. You know, I was afraid it would just be me here alone in the park tonight, eating ice cream all by myself, as I had assumed most folks would be up feasting on the barbecued boar sandwiches at the new Cabela's that just opened up in Newcastle County. But then I remembered something. The store operators made a big mistake. They opened it in Newcastle County. They're going to have people from Greenville and Hocassin walking into that store thinking that with a name like Cabela's, they must have some great Italian food. Of course, that's what they'll think until they walk in through the front door and see the big taxidermy shop right when they walk in. Then they'll be driving down to Nicola's for a Nicoboli and spend some money here in the district, which they should have done in the first place. I love it. Before I go on, I have to also thank my friend, our friend, Mayor Jim Ford, for his gracious introduction. Jim personifies, unlike any other elected official I know, the true definition of a public servant. Selfless and caring, capable and honest. Jim, thank you for your tireless service to the people of this city, this county, and this state. And Teresa, thank you for sharing your husband with us all of these years. You know, 2 years ago, we gathered here together to start something new. With eager hearts and earnest minds, we came together to chart a new course for our Cape region and for our new 6th state Senate district. Together we campaigned, and we campaigned hard, and stayed the course with electoral victories that were clear and decisive. And we did that together. And for that, and for your support, I will always be grateful. Upon being sworn into the Senate, I focused on the simple tenets of servant leadership that so many of you espouse in your own careers, in your own daily lives. Acting responsibly, being responsive, thinking with reason, and acting with restraint. I have worked together with those in my party and on a bipartisan basis, sponsoring and co-sponsoring legislation to support our local schools, protect and preserve our unique coastal environment, and strive every day to enable local entrepreneurs to build and to expand their businesses. I've worked to do this through problem solving and a common sense philosophy of governing, all the while facing up to the reality of our shared concerns: economic disparity, transportation inefficiencies, and stresses on our state's financial portfolio. These are not Republican issues or Democratic issues. These are our issues. Moms and dads, small business owners, and major employers alike. And my friends, I promise you today that I will remain focused on those issues. Issues that couples discuss over the kitchen table after the kids are asleep. Concerns that our seniors face for health care and for housing. Public policy that doesn't just matter today, but matters for our future. And I'll remain focused on these issues in spite of those who wish to divide us, who hold grudges over reasonable disagreements, that attack, smear, and malign. Don't kid yourself. They're out there. Over the last 2 years, we've had to find out the hard way, be it on a highway billboard, a robocall, or a mailed flyer. As former presidential speechwriter Michael Gerson describes it, their ideology stems from that advanced stage of political polarization by regarding one's opponent as unfit for democracy just because they have a different point of view. And while that inside the Beltway mentality may play well for some, the clear majority of the people here in the 6th District have proven before and will prove again that vitriol and division have no place here. Their arguments are selfish, disingenuous, and small, and the votes that anger them to this day are in the past. We have moved on. We will stay where we never strayed, on the high road, and continue to honor the memories of our forefathers by expanding and creating economic opportunity and improving what we have here by making it better, by making it the best for all of us. We do that by building new fire stations for our local heroes, our volunteer firefighters, like the 2 going up in this district today in Rehoboth and Nassau. We do this by building a new school of nursing just steps from this park to educate and train a new generation of health professionals to care for our parents, our children, and for each of us. We do this by building a new elementary school where our outstanding local teachers and children will work together in the pursuit of academic excellence that is the true foundation of economic growth. And we do this by building a new library right over here, a lighthouse of learning and fellowship for generations to enjoy. We do this together in this great coalition we share, this unity of faiths, colors, and creeds, because we believe in a better future, a better day for all of us. My friends, there are those that have told me recently that this is my most important election. And yes, it is important. But it's important not just for me, but for us all. And when I'm told that, I look back in our country's history, and I think to our shared past, 150 years ago, to an election year I consider to be the most important in our history, the election of 1864. In May of that year, 150 years ago, this very week, the 2 most important men in America were just 5 years removed from national obscurity. Yet these 2 remarkable men, through the course of their ascension on the national scene, kept the faith, and they kept perspective, knowing that the greater victory would be won, but only after difficult battles along the way. These 2 men kept the faith, and their country, our country, depended on them to do so. At the stalemated conclusion of the Battle of the Wilderness in Northern Virginia on May 7th, 1864, General Ulysses S. Grant told his president, our president, Abraham Lincoln, something that he had never heard from one of his generals before. He said, and I quote, "There will be no turning back. There will be no turning back." And from that point, on a day in May, 150 years ago, the Union Army did something it had never done after a major battle. It moved forward. In less than a year, the war would be over. And during that November of 1864, Abraham Lincoln would be reelected in what, again, I believe, was the most important election of our history. President Lincoln and General Grant kept the faith, determined and as resilient as ever, resolute in their convictions and willing to compromise when needed, but not to compromise their principles. My friends, today I ask for your help. I need your help to ensure that our state government remains as our founders intended, a bipartisan government with checks and with balances. I need your help to make sure one-party rule, which is creeping ever closer and at all levels in our state, is not the new normal. And I ask this not for the sake of politics, but for the sake of governing and doing so responsibly and efficiently by cleaning up state offices that have lost sight of their intended missions and holding officials, both appointed and elected, accountable to the taxpayers they serve. My friends, we don't need a state treasurer who doesn't know how to use a state-issued credit card. I don't care how many tacky billboards he has up along our highways telling us different. We need to clean house in the office of our state medical examiner. We're close to 10,000 criminal cases may be tossed out due to illegal activity within a taxpayer-funded state office. Friends, I need your help, which is why today I humbly ask for your support and your vote to go back to Legislative Hall and do the people's work and serve the 6th District for the next 4 years. Friends, I thank you for your trust in me, as it is a trust I take seriously and with great care in serving you. Let's get out there and knock on more doors than anyone else, just like before. Let's make more calls, put up more yard signs, slap on more bumper stickers, register more voters, and then drive them to the polls, just like before. Let's do this all in this great coalition of support we have and do it together. Folks, let's win this thing. Let's win it again. Thank you. God bless you. Onward and upward. Thank you for your support. Let's do it.
Thank you.